All right, turning now to the mission to the moon tonight. The world will be watching the Kennedy Space Center as the Artemis II launch window opens.
4 astronauts will take a 10-day trip around the moon in the Orion capsule, testing the life support systems to pave the way for future lunar landings.
All right, joining us right now is CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel. Good morning, Tony. What's it like there? How are people feeling? What's the vibe?
Hey, good morning, Jay. Good morning, Alona. The vibe is anticipation, excitement. 500 million people watched the first moon landing, and most people were not alive when that happened who are alive today, and so they're seeing it for the first time. And I think the numbers are going to be way beyond 500 million when you think about all the social media access, all the incredible video, the recording devices the astronauts themselves are going to have, and that we have here. The excitement from where I'm standing, and for me personally, is knowing that launch pad is just about 3 miles behind me, and when it goes off, if it goes off as scheduled tonight, they say 80% chance. Apparently there's a couple seconds of you see it before you feel it, then you get a wall of sound, a roar, and then you get a rumble as the power of that rocket cascades off of the universe here and hits us. It'll even shake some dust out of the ceiling. So how can you not be thrilled by that? And also the big difference here between this mission to the moon and the missions past. The intention here is not just to land eventually in a future mission if this test goes well, but to build a permanent settlement there. And that will be a monumental new era for all of humankind.
Now, we usually see morning liftoffs. This is a nighttime one, of course. So take us through the day. What do we expect between now and the launch window?
Well, interestingly, if people right now are picturing the astronauts in quarantine, awake, having their Wheaties, on the rowing machine, exercising, very alert, that is not the case at all. As we speak right now, they are most likely fast asleep. They have until 9:44 a.m. to get some shut-eye, because after that, it's a very busy process. They're refueling, or they're fueling up the rocket right now. And when the astronauts are on board, sitting there atop the most powerful thing ever built for human flight, they are going to be very busy for the duration. In fact, they only have 2 4-hour windows for sleep once they lift off, so they're packing in as much as they can. The rest of us here with vantage points like ours are going to be looking at a countdown clock just over my left shoulder, a little bit off camera, and waiting for that very special moment when we get to T-10 and then lift off.
Oh, I mean, you got to wonder if they're even able to sleep at a moment like this, even though they need to. Now, Tony, you have covered so many of these historic events. How does this one stand out to you?
This really ranks way, way up there with all the things I've been able to see in 20 years now, traveling the country and some of the world as a journalist. And I think what makes it so special is it's so quintessentially human. There isn't a piece of land on the planet that human beings haven't seen and gone to. The moon is the closest heavenly body. We've been looking at it. Everyone who ever lived has looked up and wondered about it. And to launch a mission that has as its ultimate intention a desire to set up a base there, to camp there, is one of the most fundamentally human things I can think about. And to witness it, to be part of it as a taxpayer here in these United States, it's really, really cool.
We can't wait. We know the crew can't wait. We've interviewed them before. They've been waiting. There have been delays. We're finally here. We'll be watching coverage. Tony, thank you so much.
Now, of course, the excitement not just there.
Yeah, the excitement not just at the Kennedy Space Center. We also feel it right here in Houston.
Yeah, we are counting down to the moment the launch window opens this evening. And KHOU 11's Devon Roming joins us live from inside of NASA's Space Vehicle Mock-Up Facility. Devon,
Hey.
That's actually where the astronauts were trained, right?
That's right. We are here in the mock-up facility, and to my left here is the Orion mock-up capsule. This is similar to the one the 4-member Artemis II crew members will spend the next 10 days in. They actually trained in this very mock-up here in the facility. Now, this capsule will be attached to the Space Launch System rocket, and after they blast off to space, the astronauts will remain in the capsule as they travel around the moon. Of course, here at NASA, teams have spent years preparing for this moment, getting both the spacecraft and crew ready for a mission that will circle the moon and return home. And those working closest to the launch say the energy right now is hard to miss.
As the team is preparing, I think everybody's pretty excited and understands the significance of this launch.
These 4 astronauts are excited. They're ready to go. They've trained for 2.5 years, and they're probably thinking, holy cow, let's get on with it already.
Now, this is NASA's first crewed mission around the moon in more than 50 years, and officials say even though this mission comes with risk, that's exactly what makes missions like this so critical, helping pave the way for future lunar landings and eventually trips to places like Mars. Now, later this evening, a crowd of roughly 1,300 people are expected to gather over at Space Center Houston for a sold-out launch watch party to witness history. Of course, we are going to be covering this all day here. And I just want to point out here in this capsule, some of you at home may be wondering, this is a tight space for adults. Where do these folks use the restroom? Well, we just learned that that little clear door down there, I don't know if you can see it, if we can zoom in there, but that's where they'll actually crawl into that space, have a little privacy to actually use the bathroom, change clothes, or what have you. I was speaking to one of the facility managers here, and she mentioned that obviously there are 3 men and 1 woman on this mission, and so this area here in the capsule will be treated more like a locker room for the men, if you will, to be able to change, while Christina Cook, one of the astronauts, she'll be able to actually go down in that little restroom area there and have her privacy as well. So a very unique experience. Obviously, this is a very historic moment, not just for these astronauts, but for the country as a whole as they get ready for liftoff here later this evening. For now, reporting live from Houston, Devon Raming, KHOU 11 News.